I would. First, I'd like to say thank you for everybody being here this afternoon on such short notice. I do want to thank Seal Berry for her help in this search, and Eastman and Bodine. Bob Bodine was very active in this, and then Chris Pert, who also introduced us, who's with our facilities, that introduced us to JR and actually helped set up our first meeting. So it's going to be my privilege to introduce just our 8th head women's basketball coach. JR Payne has played and coached this game at a very high level and has achieved a lot in her short career. As a player at St. Mary's, she earned 4 letters and helped her team to a 26-7 record and the school's first ever trip to the NCAA tournament. As a coach, she's been involved in rebuilding efforts every place that she's been, and she's done an amazing job at each of the institutions that she served. Her first head coaching position was at Southern Utah. She did a fantastic job there. Went to Santa Clara, just in her second year, had a record of 20, I'm going to say this right, had a record of 23-9. Went to the postseason this year for the first time in 10 years. So every place that she started and finished, she started where she's helped rebuild the program and got to a point where they've achieved great things in her last year. So we're excited she's here. Her athletic accomplishments are great. But what I've learned about JR in the short time that we've had the opportunity to meet her, she's got great character, high integrity. She's a terrific person, a great mother and wife that I've learned. And so we're really privileged that she's going to be our next head coach. So this time I'll turn it over to our new head women's basketball coach, JR Payne.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. First, I'd like to say a few thank yous, if that's okay. Thank you to Chancellor Phil, who I just got to meet and have lunch with, to Rick, to Seal, who've spent a lot of time with me over the last several weeks. But thank you for this incredible opportunity to be your next women's basketball coach. I'm excited to be at the University of Colorado. I'm excited to coach this women's basketball team. I'd also would like to thank the players and staff at Santa Clara University that I just came from, where we accomplished so much in just a short 2-year period. I feel very blessed for the time that I spent there, very blessed to work with such a group of remarkable young women there. I'll thank my family, Coach T, who always pushes me to be the best coach that I can be, both on and off the court. We have 3 amazing daughters, Ariana, Aaliyah, and Jordan, who are already the biggest Buff fans. They're looking at gear online and ready to come and meet the team, and they're just thrilled to be a part of this Buff family. One other person that I'd like to thank is probably one of my biggest supporters and mentors in Kelly Graves, who is the head women's basketball coach at Oregon, who was my college coach and has really spent a lot of time with me over the years and helping me understand not just the game of basketball, but what it takes to build and maintain a championship program while maintaining a great balance, with your family life. And he's taught me that you really can have the best of both worlds. And so I really appreciate the time that he spent with me. And I will say good luck to them tonight. They're in the quarterfinals of the NIT. So good luck to the Ducks tonight as they play.
That'll be the last time she'll be saying
I know, yeah. I won't go as far as to say go Ducks, but I will say good luck. What an exciting opportunity, to be here in the Buff family. I'm excited, as I think about this department, this university, this program. There's so many feelings, that go along with something like this, and the overwhelming feeling and thought is excitement. I'm excited to work with this team that we have here. I'm excited to work with the administration here at CU. I'm excited to build on the incredible tradition. I look at Seal back here and think of the incredible tradition that is Buff women's basketball. There's not that many teams in the country that have such excellence in their history. And so I'm thrilled to be able to work to rebuild a championship caliber team here at Colorado. We met the team this morning. We'd heard a lot of great things about them. You know, whenever you're looking somewhere, you do your research and you talk to coaches and different people, and overwhelmingly people said this is a fabulous group of young women that you're inheriting. And so we met them this morning. We spent about an hour and a half with them talking and you know, going back and forth. What does practice look like? What is, you know, all this stuff? And so we had a great time with them. I think that there's a lot of potential in that room, and we talked about that. You know, for us, you know, we all know Lauren can shoot the lights out. We all know Kennedy's fabulous in transition. We know those basketball things about them. What we're most excited about is the opportunity to get to know them as people, you know, learn about their families. Where are you from? What do you like? I told them this morning, I want to know all your pet peeves, you know, just whatever makes them tick. We're excited for that. Moving forward. I would tell the team, we told them this morning, you know, we're going to work together, we're going to work hard, and we're going to have a lot of fun. You know, I think our teams have always been really tough, really fearless teams, but we always have a lot of fun, you know, in what we do and in the way that we play. So moving forward, everything that our program will be about building Colorado women's basketball into a championship program. And that'll be our philosophy moving forward. And we're excited to be here, really, really honored and humbled for the opportunity to be here. And thank you all for coming today. I'm sure people have questions and different things, and I'm excited to be able to answer those. So thank you.
We do have mics, so please wait for a mic to hear the question.
JR, how would you characterize your style of play?
Well, I would sum it up in 2 words, and it's going to be blue collar. We always talk about being the toughest team, being the hardest working team, and being extremely disciplined in everything that we do. And to summarize that, it's blue collar, top to bottom. Our staff is blue collar. We believe in outworking our opponents, you know, from a recruiting standpoint, from a scouting standpoint, and our team will follow suit in that regard. Yeah.
Coach, there's a few people that have talked about your career record of 101 and 113 and
Sure.
how that's the measure of success. What do you see as the measure of success?
Well, there's so many different ways I think you can gauge success. You know, for us, we love the basketball part of what we do. What we're most passionate about is the opportunity to work with young women that come into your program as, you know, 18, 19-year-old students, and watching them leave your program as women that are capable of taking on the world. And so I'm proud of the fact that our student athletes graduate, that they leave us as confident women, you know, ready to take things on and be successful. Does that answer your question? Yeah, all right. Yes.
I'm curious as to what made you decide to jump back into the Pac-12. You work with Coach Kelly Graves, and you understand it's the top RPI conference now
Certainly.
in the nation. There's still 3 teams that are still active in the NCAA.
I know, isn't that
Quite a
remarkable?
challenge.
We should wish them good luck too. You know,
This
I think,
time only.
Yeah, this time only. Yeah. You know, it just was an exciting. Colorado presents a unique opportunity to have truly world-class academics with world-class athletics, and I think that combination is something that's very special and something that we can really recruit the best and brightest in the world, really. So that opportunity to be able to have that was something that was exciting, and just the challenge of it. I mean, like I talked about, the history of our program is something that's very unique, and the challenge of rebuilding to that level of expectation and excellence is pretty fun.
When you ask a question, introduce yourself at the same time.
Okay.
Sure. Brian Howell from the Boulder Daily Camera.
Okay.
Talked to one of your former players today who
Okay.
said that the biggest impression you made on her was how you wanted to get to know the players as people.
Mm-hmm.
That made more of an impression on her than even coaching. So why is that so important to you? You kind of alluded to it, but why is that so important to you as a coach?
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Later, I'll ask you who it was. I appreciate you saying that. That means a lot to hear that our players feel that way, and I know they do. In our program, everything that we operate on is based on relationship, the family atmosphere that we provide for our students, and that we genuinely want from our student athletes is really important to us. And it goes back to what I said previously. We want them to be ready. You know, we want them to be great basketball players, no question. Great in the weight room, great in the classroom. All those things are great. But what we're really preparing them for is life, you know, so that they can deal with adversity later, so they can be, like you said, a great wife, a great mother, a great, you know, entrepreneur, whatever that may be. So I appreciate you saying that. And yeah, that's always really the foundation of everything.
I'm B.G. Brooks with CU Buffs.
All right.
What about your staff? Have you
We're still in the recruiting process. So
have hired somebody.
yeah, we have. Yeah, Coach T will be our associate head coach. He's we've been coaching together for gosh, how many years? We'd have to do the math. 15 years maybe. So Coach T will be our defensive coordinator. I really work the offense. He really works the defense. And we're in the process. Hopefully soon we can announce the rest of our staff. But we're recruiting some really talented people.
Do you foresee holdovers? Previous?
You know what? We've talked about being able to visit with those people. We're just not here for long enough right now, but we would like to visit with the people that are here and see what everyone's opportunities look like from there. Yeah.
Coach, Pat Rooney, Boulder Daily
Oh, excuse
Camera.
me. Yeah.
You have a track record of making teams, turning things around at programs. I guess a two-part question. What do
Sure.
you feel like is the secret to that approach, and how do you apply it here to a team that struggled last year and obviously a different level of competition here in the Pac-12?
Well, we have been really fortunate. I think starting, at Gonzaga as an assistant coach, where we hadn't been out of place been out of last place in 9 years, and able to turn that program, and then Boise State, as assistants, and then at the last two places that we've been. The biggest thing for us is creating a culture that fosters and has our players striving for excellence. And I know that's a little bit of a catchphrase, but we really believe that. We push them to be the best they can be in everything that they're doing. And that's not always comfortable for players, to really challenge their weaknesses and attack those weaknesses, but we work towards that. And so really creating that level of striving to be the best that you can be. We like I said, those three things that we hang our hat on are teams that are things that we've done in every single program we've been a part of. Being the toughest, being the hardest working, being disciplined, and those things translate into success. We line up against, a great team on the other side of the floor, and if we can go into that game knowing, they may be taller than us, they may be a little bit more talented in some areas, but if we know we will win every loose ball, we will be tougher, we will win the battle of the boards and things like that, those are things that I think translate to success in turning programs around. Yeah, and to answer your second question, it'll be no different here. We've already talked to our team about it. These are the three things that we will be, and I think they were excited about that, knowing that, all right, at least I know what that looks like and what's expected of me. So. Sure. Okay. Great. Oh, wonderful. Great.
I'm curious, coming in at the point that you are, do you like the timing coming in? Because a lot of recruiting has happened through,
Yeah.
you may feel like you're playing a little bit of catch-up. You have a nice core of student athletes, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because you talked about recruiting your assistant
Sure. Yeah, sure. No, the timing's great. I mean, the timing for any transition and any change is always just that. It's a change, so everyone has to kind of adjust. But no, the timing is great that we were able to do this before the contact period ends. We'll go out and try to see some great young women over the next 3 or 4 days before that contact period ends. We have 2 evaluation periods in April coming up. So we'll be able to get out and see, as many players that we can in those 2 evaluation periods. And then we still have a month left of school, month and a week or so. So we get to work with our athletes here, which is really fun. That's the biggest thing. We want to roll up our sleeves and get to work right now. If we could go do individual workouts, kick off the heels and go, I would do it. But we have plenty of time for everything, I think. Yeah.
Coach Ryan Koenigsberg, BSN member. Can you explain what it's like to have your spouse on the staff and just the dynamics of that?
Yeah, everybody asks us that question, and they think it's funny, and how does it work? And honestly, half the people that we work with don't even know we're married. We're just, and we were talking about it earlier, saying that the recruits that we've signed, sometimes they get to campus and kind of put it together. Oh, wait, you guys are, we're very much business. We're very much about basketball. We're very much about our own individual relationships with our players. So yeah, it's actually a total non-issue. But we do have a lot of fun, and you'll see pretty quickly. I'm really kind of the more mellow one. I never get too high or too low, and Coach T's the one. He's out there chest bumping people, and he's fired up, and so we're kind of the yin and the yang on the staff.
This is for Athletic Director George. What led you to Coach Payne? I mean, did you guys have a short list together? Was it right out of the gate you knew it'd be Coach Payne? What was the process behind finding her?
Well, as you know, we hired a search firm that helped us with the pool of candidates, and we had a short list already in mind, and we married those 2 lists up, and Actually got to meet with JR when I arrived in Las Vegas for the first time for the men's basketball tournament. She happened to be on her way out, which was unfortunate because it
Yeah.
wasn't the championship
Yeah.
game, but she was gracious enough to stick around for a little while and meet with myself and Lance Carl. And so we met that day, and there was some time in between then, and we met last week, and we came to a decision late last week. And I do want to say congratulations to Washington for getting to the women's Final Four.
Yeah, goodness.
Way to go, Jen.
You, PG Brooks, I see you talked about.
Sure.
You mentioned recruiting, not thinking that you would get a late start.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you focus your recruiting? Are you primarily west with your background?
Mm-hmm.
Or do you go all over, or where they're at, so to speak?
Yeah, recruiting over the last, 5-6 years to a decade has really become global. For example, Coach T's leaving the country tonight, to go scouring the country, for certain players that we're looking for. But I would say, Colorado is in a prime place, one, in that we have fabulous girls basketball in the state of Colorado. And then we're surrounded by states that have fabulous women's basketball. Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, Kansas, you kind of go around us, and it's really a hotbed of talent. The Midwest has been really good for the University of Colorado over the years. So we won't be limited to any certain area of the country, but truly seeking out the best fits for our family here.
Any more questions?
Who influenced you as a basketball player? Who got you into the sport, and how?
Oh, gosh, that's a tough question. I grew up in North Vancouver, British Columbia. Went to a small school where we kind of did everything. Back then, you didn't specialize. So I played baseball with the boys when I was a little girl. I played soccer, volleyball. I did ballet. I kind of did a little bit of everything. Basketball was my true love, starting as about my sophomore year. My dad was always big into basketball, someone that would always shoot with me and encourage me in that way. And then honestly, my junior year of college, when Kelly Graves came and took over our program, really kind of fell in love with basketball again, to a level where I thought I could do this for the rest of my life. Whether it was playing at the time, I didn't realize that would be coaching, but a lot of different people have, yeah. But,
Jake Shapiro, Radio 1190.
yeah.
You've looked at the current team, obviously. What
Yeah.
excites you about the players you already have in the program? What
Mm-hmm.
players kind of caught your eye and said, I'm thrilled to work with them?
Yeah, well, I'm excited to work with all of them. We get online and watch film and figure out, who can do what and who sort of fits the style that we'd like to play. Obviously to have a fabulous young point guard in Kennedy is very special. She fits the style that we would like to play and that we like to be very up-tempo offensively. I think that fits naturally to her skill set. I could honestly go through the roster and tell you the strengths and things that I think are special about each player, which would take too long. But I think that we have pieces of everything that we need. And we're just looking to build on that and put them all together and really try to capitalize on each person's strengths. And I think we've got a lot of potential in that locker room. Yeah.
All right. Thanks everyone for coming.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sure there'll be a part 2 for little one-on-ones, so feel free.
All right.
30 minutes before the second.
No,
Okay.
it's available whenever. It'll be ready. Good job.
All right, thank you.
It wasn't too painful. Okay. Good, how are you?